Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Airy Sky Ridley's video blog. I'm Airy Sky. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're coming back, or welcome. So, let's just get on to it. So, I want to make this short and sweet. So, the food stamps have been issued in blue states. Apparently, blue states turned around and they literally, quote unquote, that's right, quote unquote, filled it up. Now, I was reading some news this morning, trying to anyways. I couldn't read that much, and let me just say I was reading about, you're going to laugh at this, how the President of the United States told you this was going to happen. I told you this last night. Decided to go to the higher courts and say, hey, government shutdown, I'm not trying to use this as leverage. I would have just said, yes, I'm using it for leverage. But instead, the government shut down. There is no money in the CR to pay for food stamps. What happened? Apparently, celebrities like Robert De Niro and others went online and said, hey, you got to pay. And the government said, okay. And the government turned around and the government decided to pay. Now, a lot of people are hooting and hollering, going, yeah, I'm in a blue state. I got my food stamps already this morning. Yeah, well, Chloe called me and said she got the same. So then I was like, okay. So Chloe got her benefits. So did you get yours? That's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about a couple things. I had a guy message today in a comment. Thank you for your comment, sir. He was clean. He didn't say, like, oh, you're a crap head or whatever. He was very nice. He said, pretty much, thank you for turning on closed captions. Well, you're welcome, sir. Usually I don't like doing it, but my adopted brother's always throwing a fit about it. He's like, oh, I can't hear. Well, that's not my problem. You know what? I think a lot of, I was watching some left-wing media today again just because, let me tell you, it was pretty utterly crappy. So, a lot of people are like, well, what are we doing? Well, let me tell you what we're doing, okay? So far I got 7 people in the poll posted comments about government ain't opening. Now, a lot of people are complaining. There are a lot of Democratic people. Here's the problem, okay? A lot of Democratic people came in, and they're like, hey, did you see what Chuck Schumer did? So I went online to check it out. There's a couple videos where people are like, look, we own the Republicans. Okay, I love that one. And that they need to do our demands because 2026 was doing a clean sweep because of what Trump's doing. Well, now everyone's like, well, even if we get our benefits in November, we may not get it in December because Chuck Schumer just came out and said, I'll give an extension of the Affordable Cares Act, the ACA, for 1 year. People are like, no, we want it. We want the Donald Trump's big, beautiful, crappy budget to be rescinded and put everything back into place. Well, the wealthy oligarchy, apparently, this is what I read this morning, don't quote me because I'm not going to go into it, claims that if they don't get what they want, then the country's going down the toilet because of taxes or whatever. I mean, literally, come on, does anyone in their damn right minds have any or all things about it? Come on. So, anyway, back to the story. So, food banks have been sitting there saying, well, we're not getting paid, but food banks don't need to get paid, right? They're just like, we're not getting paid right now. But everyone else is tooting their horn. They're like, woot, woot, we got paid. Well, that's great, but what happens when you run out for 20, what if you run out and nothing happens in December, right? So blue states are issuing it rapidly responding, which means blue states already are giving it. Chloe's got hers. I checked my measly 24. Chloe's got measly 24. But people are like, oh yeah, we get it. Guy came back. He's like, oh yeah, alcohol guy. Oh yeah, we got food. Yeah, all drunk with his vodka and something. It's like, dude, I just ran inside. Thing is, I'm not gonna bother with something like the food stamps. That's fine and dandy, old lady's like, oh yeah, $40. Oh yeah, $40. Oh really? So you're tooting your horn because you get $40. I'm sitting here thinking it's unconstitutional. Now a lot of people have messaged me, call me a bigot, maybe, but take your food stamps and eat because that's what you guys are complaining about. You got your food stamps, but the judge turned around. I read the report this morning. The judge said, take it out of another pot, and they said we can't. That's for WIC. we can't just tap into the WIC program. Oh, so the Women, Infant, and Children's program is more important, apparently, than 42 million people eating. Wow. Makes sense, right? So anyways, the government turns around and says, this is what we're doing. And so Trump goes ahead. President Trump says, oh, no, we're going to take it to the higher courts, right? This is unconstitutional, right? So he could go to the courts and be like, yeah, an emergency, we can't pay. And yet they turn around and the Supreme Court says, oh, well, you know, there's only two genders. We're going to basically make sure it's two genders for this administration. Okay, fine. Then you turn around and what happens? They're now arguing about tariffs. Oh, well, we need the tariffs. I think the Supreme Court may just basically stick that one in his ear and tell him to stick it. We're not supporting the tariffs. So what happens? They turn around and say, you know, I mean, look, Congress controls the purse string. Congress doesn't want to sit there and pass a bill. I mean, look, if you Republicans want to turn around and not give food stamps anymore to anyone, just rescind it. Be like, this bill is null and void. The USDA, get rid of it, all the freeloading subsidies if you really want to rescind everything. Democrats will turn around and win hands down if you take away everything. But guess what? A lot of you people sit there and say, oh, well, you know, we own the libs. And all of a sudden, what happens, libs turn around and basically do a clean sweep, and then everyone's all in panic mode. And now they think they have a mandate. And Chuck says, oh, 1 year extension. Now everyone's basically telling the Senate, hold the line, toe the line. So my adopted brother, he's like, oh, the government shut down, we're going to the toilet. Look, I haven't checked the stock market for Friday. I got out of bed late. I was working on projects last night. I actually worked on one today. It was pretty funny. But anyways, let's check Dow Jones because, you know, they're all, you know, Dow Jones went up 75 points today. Wow. Yeah, so 75 points. So unless it keeps tanking, I mean, all these people are like, oh, the stock market's tanking. No, it isn't. Stock market is not tanking. The stock market is doing pretty damn good. Okay, it's still stable. Fortunately, a lot of you people think the economy's tanking, and it isn't. So, I mean, look, let's put it this way. Amazon turned around. All right, I want to tell you guys a story. Amazon turned around, and they lowered their food pricings. They're like putting it out there again, being like, hey, you need food? We'll give you food. You need food? We'll give you food, right? So basically, food, yeah. They'll give food, so, you know, you go and say, okay, I got food. Well, you know how that is, right? So, oh yeah, that reminds me, I need to check something real quick. Someone was asking me, can you check on that? I was like, yeah, sure. So, I was trying to check a website, because I was looking to buy some candy. And someone asked me if it's cheaper on Amazon or something else. Yeah. Because I wanted bears and I wanted, I wanted gummy bears and I wanted gummy worms. And so a lot of people are like, well, can you get it in the bulk? And I was like, yeah, I think so, but right here it doesn't give you bulk. Yeah, I like worms, so that's what I was looking for. I was looking for worms, and so far, can't find worms. Otherwise, I'd buy bulk worms. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. So it's like, do you want worms? Yes, I want worms. Yeah, we can. Yeah, yeah. Might as well just order it on Amazon because it's cheaper. It's like, oh, yes, Yeah, so it's more money buying it in the bulk. Alright, so anyways, I want to share with you guys, you know, people say to me, oh, Rita, you don't need candy. That's true. So, let's get back to it. So, basically, people need to go in now, if they got their food stamps, and start putting together an order. They got to put together an order. Yeah. Put together your order, people, because once your order is placed, you can buy your food. Yeah. Yeah. And so I am placing an order right now while talking to you about food. Yeah. There we go. 15 cases of ramen. It only costed me $40 out the door. So there you go. So 40 out of my own pocket. That tells you right there that 15 more cases. At least I'm going to be eating pretty dang tasty for the month. A lot of you people sit there and say, well, how come? It's because we got to eat. That's the problem we have. A lot of people said to me, well, you know. Oh, yeah, there it is again. News. King County. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. So my adopted brother just asked a question about the phone. So I was on the phone to Chloe, okay? And we were talking about food stamps. And all of a sudden, Chloe's, the flip phone that I have, Chloe turned around. And lo and behold, what happened was, the phone turned around. And she put me on hold to pick up this other call. And the phone froze. And then she calls me on her Google Voice, which she never does, and says, what do I do? And I said, well, you take the battery out, you put it back in, you turn the phone on. So she popped it back out, pulled the battery out of the flip phone, and she said it's frozen and it won't turn off. Well, there's ways to do it. You got to hold the buttons and then to hit power. Well, she tried that, didn't work, so like I said, she popped the battery out and it worked. And then my adopted brother said, is there a call log? No, that's the thing. When Chloe checked the number, it disappeared. It was like, you know, as soon as someone tried to call the number, it disappeared. So I don't know what happened. But then she tells me there's two different types of numbers. It could be an 864 or 564. So I said to Chloe, well, if it's 564, it's Washington. If it's an 864, it's South Carolina. And she said, isn't Brother Chris from South Carolina? So I think he's North Carolina, but I'm not going to go into details, you know. But the thing is, my flip phone is, you know, my adopted brother, he's just really interested in, you know, technology, and I think he's interested in the fact that, you know, the phone acted up, and he doesn't know what's going on, you know, and so apparently the Republicans are making deals, and the Democrats are asking for more money again, you know. I think yeah. So anyways, I want to get to this. So people better place their orders because food is going to get tighter. Yeah, that's right. So a lot of people say, well, you know, why do you need 15 more cases of ramen? Well, because it's food, right? And the fact that the price went down as soon as food stamps were restored, so I grabbed up and scarfed up. Because, you know, it's better to have 15 extra cases and live on ramen as an emergency food source than worrying about things. And by the way, I haven't touched my ramen in like 10 days or so because, frankly, I've been eating whatever's in the freezer, trying to eat down the freezer. So, you know, the long-term storage of ramen will last a lot longer than if you don't. But a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, you're being selfish. Yeah, well, maybe, but at least I'm going to eat, okay? My main thing is December may not come, and if everyone sucks up it, I mean, look, I got people messaging me, asking me, will we open the government up for December? Who knows? I mean, with Chucky, he's like, well, make a deal. Really, he's doing the weak one. A lot of people are like, toe the line. I mean, a lot of people are telling Chuck, if you don't get behind what the American people want, apparently the Democrats are going to vote him out. I mean, I bet you anything, they will vote him out. I mean, is he really a Democrat? No, he isn't. He's basically one of these crap heads that turn around and don't want to toe the line. I mean, look, as soon as they get the government open, they can start doing other things. Right now, a lot of people are saying the best course of action is to not allow the line to be broken. And there's people out there that are saying, Chuck Schumer is trying to do this and do that. It's like, dude, Donald Trump is trying to reopen the government, and then you have all these clickbaiters. I mean, did you see the clickbaiter where the one guy got 6 hours? He's got like almost 160,000 views. I won't ever get that, by the way. Maybe on my turkey video from like 10 years ago. But anyways, back to the story. These people are clickbaiting that Stephen Miller is going to go to jail for life. Really? Prison for life? Really? That's interesting. I'd like to see if Stephen Miller go arrest this guy. Well, because frankly, this guy's like, oh, yeah, Stephen Miller's going to go to prison for life. Really? That's funny because frankly, what did Stephen Miller do? Whisper in Donald Trump's ear, nuke Haagen-Dazs ice cream factory? I mean, come on, dude. I mean, I'm just making a joke there. But thing is, what is the problem? I mean, the people are sitting around literally going, oh, yeah, we own the Republican redneck killjacks. They're calling us redneck killjacks. Great. I'm glad you're calling it redneck killjacks. I frankly don't care. What I care about is getting off my butt, making some supper soon. Takes about an hour, 350, so I may fire up the oven. But the thing is, I don't want to be here this long because, people are like, oh, you got to basically tell the people their food stamps have been in. Washington State and the blue states already issued them. They already basically issued them. They issued them this morning. Literally, they're like, food stamps are done. Meanwhile, I'd like to see how this plays out, because what if the government turns around, people? I'm going to preheat the oven in a second. What if the government turns around and the Supreme Court goes, oh, yeah, it's unconstitutional? Really? So basically, how's the states going to turn around and say, well, maybe unconstitutional, but these people get to eat? And the president says, well, the food stamps are out. Look, my father-in-law stated time and time again, this is the stuff you need to prep for. My sister said the same thing, but all these people, they're just happy to have food stamps. Yeah, they're happy to have food stamps where everyone else is happy to have, but then what happens in December, huh? I mean, literally, I'm agreeing with Donald Trump on one aspect. The well's dry. I mean, literally, the government can't keep funding things when there's no money for it. I mean, literally, think about what's next. December's USDA food stamp payment. They're going to tap into what's left of the housing thing. Oh, we'll just take $9 billion that's supposed to be for new loans and housing and then put it into the people to eat for December. Then what? I mean, literally, a lot of people are saying the government's not going to reopen. I mean, my adopted brother's like, oh, the government's not going to reopen. Government will reopen if they get a deal. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Democrats out there. Let me preheat the oven. I think it's at 350, was it on the box? Yes? Okay. What is this anyways? Which one am I having tonight? Which one is... I'll take these. 350. There we go. 350. I think. Yeah. Okay, so $3.50, 1 hour. Sounds good to me. Fit, slit. Alright, $3.50, 1 hour. There. That works. Works for me, works for you. 1 hour. Okay. Alright, there we go. Dinner is in. So, basically, I'm having some Salisbury steaks for dinner tonight. So, people sit there and say, Rudy, you're not doing too bad. That's because we prepped, okay? Unfortunately, we're here to talk about the future. And the future is, basically, people need to realize you either buy in the bulk or you let your food stamps go. And if the government turns around, what if the government says, oh, well, you got food stamps for November? The next card they could play is November. We're not paying you December because you got it. Well, the government shut down and we don't have to pay you. So technically, look, my brother's probably sitting there going, woot, I got my $399 food stamps, woot. The thing is the point is, the same guy bought like $42 in hoagies at the front part of Walmart. I mean, think of it. I mean, these meals, I just priced them out there like $2.96 right now. But you guess what? The stores are now going to raise their prices. I went to Walmart's website just to check my things. They raised it again. As soon as food stamps was issued in our state, they were like, boop! So apparently, I got to think, what was it? It was one of the guys, I think it might have been Dragon or Reese, or, yeah, it was Reese, I believe it was. Reese said the other day on election night that, prices went down. Now they went up. So think about it. If you're watching the markets, as soon as you get that $9 billion, Walmart's complaining that they're hurting all of a sudden. I mean, literally, I think what people need to know. So, the point is Chloe got her measly $24 now. So I was like, but my main thing is I don't care because I just add to it. So even if my bill's like, 24, and then you take and you deduct whatever, that's what's left. So basically, and then if the price goes up, So for example, hold on a sec. Yeah, oh yeah, look at this. So it's like, cost of living is gone. Yeah, people are okay, so let's see here. So I want to make a quick post here. I need to check my thing because it's been ordered. I just need to check my things. How much was it out the door actually for me? So it's this is tax free because it's food. So currently I had to pay $62 out the door for 15 cases of ramen. That means I get to eat for the next month. However, my other issues at hand is, Chloe'd be like, oh, did you have to? Yes, I had to. Literally, a lot of people basically don't realize it's just a measly $24. Doesn't do much. It gives me one case, so I had to pay for 10 cases by myself. Now, a lot of people say, well, why do you need 10 cases? Because I gotta eat. If you don't eat, you basically go hungry, yeah. So, with Chloe, of course, today Chloe called me up on the phone, and she's like, hey, I'm at Costco. Yeah, well, and I tell her, you wanted the Thanksgiving dinner, and yet I gotta go and price out Costco. So, for example, I was talking to Chloe, right? Chloe wants to meet me like Wednesday or something. So, oh yeah, that reminds me, Costco, I think it is. So, anyways, I was looking at, there's this thing, right? And yeah, right there, it's like turkey breast and then smoked turkey. So it's like, no. So anyways, right here, so it's like smoked turkey right there. A whole turkey, 12-pound turkey is like gonna be like $60 out the door. And Chloe's like, well, maybe next month. And then you want rib. She's like, I want rib roast. And you put in rib roast and our beef roast, I should say. And let me tell you, it's expensive. So Chloe's like, well, can't we get it cheaper? Because Chloe wants rib roast. It's like, dude. So, like right here, it's $19 a pound. And so usually if you want 10 pounds, it's $190. Okay, so Chloe's like, so usually they're selling like $140 box. And I said, Chloe, that's $140, and yeah, you should look at other options. But, Chloe, I want a prime rib. I want a rib roast. Well, you know how that plays out. So, but anyway, a lot of people are really struggling with food right now. So I don't think it'd be practical to go buy rib roast unless Chloe parts with her money, which she won't do because today she spent $12 at Costco for a salad for a friend of hers, a soda, and a hot dog for her. It was $11.17. $11.17. What did I spend today? $0. Except for the ramen, which was $62, which I just checked. So, $62 for 15 cases of ramen. And what did she get? One thing. I mean, literally, the ramen alone, because she could have got 3 cases. But, I can't eat ramen. Yeah, so what happened? She puts her money into this. And she's like, well, I'm being a good little Muslim, and I'm paying off my debts. So, today I asked her a question about an experiment. She said, go for it. So, I did. And let me tell you, I thought it was pretty dang funny what I did. And then I told her that it would take about 3 months for what she wants to do, but Christmas tree would be overflowing for 2026. And she's like, okay. So, Think about that. Fortunately, a lot of people out there are just saying, what's going to happen for the future? I don't know. Unfortunately, I have a feeling the Supreme Court, if they get involved, they're going to say it's unconstitutional. There's no money until the states pay it back. And the states are going to sit there and say, well, these people have to eat. Thing is these people are literally sitting there voting Democratic because they're, I watched a video last night. I think it was AI, maybe not, but Robert De Niro was like, people qualify, let them eat. Well, I agree with that one, but, if there's no money, what are you supposed to do? I mean, he's a millionaire, but, he makes a good point. He makes a damn good point. But the thing is, people are like, he's like, oh, well, people are dependent. Well, some are. I mean, I wake up in the morning, right? And the first thing I hear is, people are dependent because, they don't want to tap into their cash, so they wait for the food stamp so they can go buy alcohol, and they can buy tobacco, and they can buy drugs. And to me, yeah. So they turn around and they spend money, and they spend money, and then they buy booze, and then they buy booze, then they buy drugs, and then people throw a fit. I'm sorry to say it, people, but how type of life is that if you're going to sit there and invest in booze? I mean, literally, invest in alcohol. No. It's like, yeah, I mean, what type of life is that? People say, oh, well, it's an addiction, you can't evict him. You can't evict him for certain grounds. Fortunately, it's not about eviction or whatever. It's like, when you say, people have these food stamps, a lot of people turn around, right? And a lot of people, they've been messaging me. The Republicans on the Republican side said, hey, you may be weird, but, we want to tune into you because you're telling the truth. If you could be president, what would you do? Simple. I'd take away a lot of these people's abilities because a lot of these people should be doing things that meets the requirements of the people. Look at my cousin. My cousin used to make jokes as a EMS. He was a volunteer. He said he had to go to a lot of crack houses or crack dens to get people help. Why? Because apparently this is stuff. Thing is, look around. The American people are tired of paying for benefits for people to buy booze and alcohol. I mean, look. The last time I was at a restaurant, I had a unlimited Coke float, Coca-Cola. It was delicious. And then I told Chloe, maybe I'll go and do that again. And Chloe's like, really? And I'm like, yes, really. Why? Because it sounds pretty dang tasty. Unfortunately, my adopted brother, oh, don't you get your 24? See, he's bragging because he gets more than me. But the problem is the way the government shuts down. By the way, I talked to a friend of mine last night about my brother's case without giving names. And he said that the only thing Social Security is mandated right to do is pay checks and to maintain a low skeleton crew for the computers and make sure the payments go out through the Treasury. Otherwise, most offices are furloughed, and most people are not getting paid. So Social Security's not getting paid. The employees apparently, phone workers aren't getting paid. And so, people are, the thing is, people are saying, well, Social Security, they're trying to break it so they can get rid of it. Well, let me put it this way. They're not trying to break it. They're the government's not getting paid. There's like 12 appropriation bills every year. If we can make one appropriation bill, that'd be fine, but they all have to. And, they're all arguing, like we need to pay the military. Well, we need $6 trillion for a new carrier set. Oh, we need $9 trillion here. It's like, dude. Literally. The way things are looking, it's literally looking pretty bad. And the American people are tired of it. They're just like, we're not going there. And so, the point is the 12 appropriation government shut down and everyone's all tooting their horn that they got food stamps. Good for you. Thing is, what happens if the government says, well, because the government shut down and the Democrats don't get what they want, the Republicans don't get what they want, and the stock market starts to teeter, and then everyone's worried, and all of a sudden the president says, well, you got your food for November, we're not giving it to you for December, and all of a sudden it goes back to court. Thing is that would basically state that the people on food stamps are so dependent that they don't understand that the food stamps are paid month to month on a basis of an appropriation bill. It'd be like turning around and saying, well, we got to fund someone's government phone. No, you don't. Government phone's already funded, prepaid through taxes and other notices. Well, as everyone else turns around and basically sits there and thinks that they're entitled. I mean, look at my sister, for example. My sister thinks that you guys are literally all going to basically message and say, toe the line, we don't want anything. I mean, look, 1 year extension of the ACA to get the government open. Do you think that's well worth it? And then they're like, no, we want guarantees, we want this, we want that. Really? So the government is being held hostage by healthcare. Okay. So what's next when the government appropriation bill comes up? See, they're trying to make a deal so it goes for a year. So then the appropriation government can basically say, look, we're doing it right after elections. But now, with everything these Democrats are holding the cards to, one guy's like, oh, well, 1 year is good. No, that's 1 year is nothing. I mean, literally, the people are going to vote him out. I mean, I bet you when the time comes, they're going to vote Chuck Schumer out because of it. I mean, literally, has anyone ever read... the government shutdown updates. I mean, I know someone says, so they think that 9 hours ago, so, I mean, literally, they're like, so they're all talking about the government, right? But, yeah. I mean, usually I go through different channels, but so far I don't see anything in the, doing a Google search. The Google search doesn't show much. It's just like they may vote Friday, or did they vote Friday? So apparently the newest thing is the president. Hold on, what's this about the president? So apparently the president's going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars again, jokingly, of course. I don't know what the number is. People want to know. He tells the senators, you're staying in Washington over the weekend. And we're going to go to Florida. So apparently Air Force One's going to be used. I guess my adopted brother doesn't. So he's basically trying to tell Trump's trying to tell people the filibuster needs to be dissolved. Actually, they're not going to dissolve it. If they do, the Dems will really use it when So apparently, yeah. So it says right, the Senate Democrats blocked the GOP-led bill to pay federal workers as shutdown. Wow, so they want to pay the federal workers, but they don't want to pass anything else. I mean, come on, dude. Yeah, it says right there, administration starts funding. Yeah. Darryl Strawberry? Oh, wow. So people are getting pardoned again, and people are throwing a fit. Yeah. 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 So there is nothing. Literally, there is nothing. There is nothing on the updates. They're just like, So there it goes. The president basically, I told you I called this yesterday. It was a call in the Supreme Court to ask for the food stamp benefit fight. So, the thing is it's basically emergency request on the docket. Emergency appeal of Boston-based federal appeals court. Administration asked Supreme Court to issue immediate administrative hold on the case by 9:30, which is already 7:30. The legal fight over food stamps. It's unclear how the request of the Supreme Court can impact. So basically, let me tell you what they did. So everyone's getting their full payments right now. Unfortunately, basically, that they could basically turn around and pull it out, basically shut down the computers and freeze your accounts for benefits too. That could be coming next. He could basically get his administrative stay and then block your food stamps. He could turn around and Supreme Court could say it's unconstitutional, take away your food stamps. I mean, literally. I mean, what they're trying to do, I think, is they're trying to build a wall, basically, that states, the food stamps are unconstitutional in general, and then get rid of it permanently. And people say, oh, well, thing is, you get two choices here. You get to either basically back up and say, okay, the Republican turds are right. Why should we be paying everyone else's food bill? Or you can turn around and say, we want socialism. And that's the thing. A lot of people are saying we want socialism. And the Republican turds, the redneckers, they're thinking it's communism. There's two different things. Communism is where the state runs everything and doles out everything to the Republicans. And socialism is the Republicans have to pay the bill for someone else to eat. I mean, think about it. I mean, how many people turn around and they see an elderly person Social Security walk in to say, to pay their bills, and they sit down at Red Robin. I saw a person the other day at Red Robin. He threw a fit. He's like, hey, are you an old geezer on Social Security? And he's like, yes. And you're basically coming in here and spending my tax dollars, this is what the guy said, on getting a burger. He said it's a burger, a fry, unlimited fry, a burger, and a drink for $9.99 plus tip. He says, I don't want my money being wasted. Yeah, guy was rude. He didn't even argue with us because, well, he didn't have to. He was just talking to, Thing is, the elderly wanted a meal because, well, people wanted to eat. Do you think that's wrong to sit there and be like me turning around and saying, hey, my brother Ted, why should we be paying for your food stamps? You're not entitled. Instead, I don't say that. And then people say to me, well, Rita, you're a bigot if you're basically stating that, I'm not a bigot so much as the facts are, people, I'm telling you the truth. The truth is the Republicans are tired of paying for these freeloaders. That's the point. Point is, they sit there and they see the news, right? Here's what's happening, okay? The Republicans turn around and say, oh, yes, it's got to go to the Supreme Court. This is unconstitutional. If they go, it's unconstitutional, then other things get unconstitutional. Eventually, they're going to just sit there. People say, the libs, they're like, our constitutions are being eroded. How's it eroded when, they're paying as well as the Republicans are paying, plus the independents are paying. All the people are paying taxes, whether it be sales tax, federal tax, income tax, and it's paying for people's food. And people say, oh, well, I'd rather have them pay for food. Yeah, you qualify for it, that's fine. But the Republicans, I'm saying in general, they don't, what I'm trying to say is there's people out there that say you're not making sense. Are you for the Repubs or against it? What I'm saying is the Republicans are tired of paying. That's what I'm saying. They sit there and they work their butt off. Someone says, oh, yeah, I got my Obama phone paid up this month. Oh, yeah, whoop, whoop. And they're paying $80, $90, $100 for their phone plans. And someone's got, literally. A lot of people, if they really wanted to get rid of their phone service, they could turn around and get rid of it, yeah. And, so, the Senate Republicans reject the Democrats' health care. Wow! I'm amazed. Finally, the Republicans are growing a spine. Yeah. So, basically, it says right there, the path forward to the Senate remains unclear. The chamber blocked of GOP, the federal workers. Wow, so you don't get federal workers, they don't get health care, government sets down. See, I want to see how long the government shuts down and who's going to crack first. Because, the thing is you got my brother going, oh, it's all the Democrats' fault. No, actually, read all the damn polls. The polling says, quote, unquote, Trump's fault and, I don't know what Obama popped in there. Trump's fault and the Republicans. I blame them both because they can't come together to make a deal. Literally. How many Americans out there? Okay, I want some comments eventually. How many Americans out there are going to sit there and say this is a fight about health care? Really? Well, last time I heard the transgender people say, oh, well, without health care, I can't have my little, nah, never mind. I can't use that word, but you get my idea. They want surgeries, and it's like, taxpayers are like, if you want it, pay for it yourself. And they're like, oh, well, I'm so poor. And doctors, yeah, the doctors are cutting back. Yeah, doctors are cutting back kind of fair. Yeah. And then as soon as the Democrat comes in and presidents and everything, they'll pass everything, they'll pass it, and they'll rebuild everything. Literally, think about it. Think about it. The Republicans are sitting there, apparently, by my own eyes, okay, this is how I analyze it, and they sit there and say, oh, why should we pay for Jezebel's food stamps for the month, right? And all of a sudden, people say, oh, yeah. And all of a sudden, Donald Trump says, oh, let's just get rid of it, right? So he blocks it. All of a sudden, it goes all the way to SCOTUS because he's saying, hey, there's no money for it. We're not using political politics here. But, and then all these people are hooting and hollering, yes, the FBI finally told ICE to unmask themselves because we don't know who they are. Because people are, apparently the report said that these people pretending to be ICE is impersonating ICE, and then apparently what I heard was the women were being sexually assaulted. I'm going to use that clean word. I don't want to use the other word. I don't want to trigger. That's what I heard anyways from the grapevine, and these people are pretending to be ICE agents so they can get even with anyone and anyone, and they're pissed off, so they're pretending to be ICE agents so they can literally assault whoever they want. Transgender people are being assaulted, gays are being assaulted, lesbians are being assaulted. All these people are being assaulted because of it. And they're like, look, you need to identify yourself, the real ones, because if we don't, it eventually, and then the Supreme Court said, yeah, you can go ahead and sue ICE for, this, and this. So the government's sitting there saying, yeah. But in the meantime, look what happens. In the meantime, the government turns around, and look at what's happening. There's a lot of people out there right now that are like, oh, well, we don't have food and we're the victims. You don't have food because the government shut down. You're not a victim of it. How many times does people need to hold back some stuff? You get like 6 or 7 bags of beans per month. You can literally have an emergency supply of beans. Oh, wait, I forgot. People don't like beans. I can't feed my kids beans. They have to have. I don't need that best. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Literally, I bet a lot of you Republicans watching my channel are saying, amen. These Democrats, they just want what they want. And look at it. And then you got these other Democrats going, oh, you need to toe the line, replace Chuck Schumer. Good, toe the line and replace him. If he's making a deal. Look, John Thune basically said, nope, we're not doing health care. It's a non-starter. Good. You see, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the Supreme Court to take a case and say, yeah, you can axe every government agency and run them on skeleton crew the rest of your life because we don't need them. And that's what my brother is afraid of. Then the government turns around and collapses because of it. The stock market crashes. We have a Great Depression. And then we have World War III. And then, this is what my adopted brother is so afraid. Literally. It's like, dude. Literally. There's nothing wrong in the country. Literally. Last night I was talking to someone about the videos that my brother wanted me to watch. And let me tell you, those videos were not. Yeah. So, anyways. Point is I gotta call the doctor up one of these days and find out why I have some problems with my hearing again. My hearing's acting up yet again. One ear is clean. This one here feels like it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's sinuses. Maybe I got a abscess in my tooth. I don't know, and it's causing hearing loss. Literally, I'm gonna have to make an appointment with the doctor, and I really don't want to, but I'll have to. So, but anyways, the doctor turns around. And he'll be like, oh, yeah, goes in there and says, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe there's scarring. That's the thing. He looked in there and he says, oh, the tubes over the years of scarring in my ear. And the ear maybe, that helped me, like, oh, your ear canal's or oh, we'll have to send you an ear, nose, throat specialist again. For what? Literally, I went to an ENT. The doctor wanted a lot of money. Yeah, so anyways, but anyways, there's these people, then the food stamps have been stored. So go buy your stuff now, get it over with, because that's what people want to see. And as of Friday night, a lot of people said they don't want 3-hour videos of me ranting and rambling. So the point is the American people, the Democrats won again. They got their food stamps restored. But it may be a temporary victory until the SCOTUS take care of it. And they're asking SCOTUS to basically put on hold by 6:30 my time that the Supreme Court may or may rule that it's unconstitutional or basically take it up. If they don't take it up, so basically the administration's currently working on the fully funding of the SNAP program. Let me just tell you real quick before we go. That means that all blue states have already dumped the money in, and all red states are waiting because the red states, they want to be legitimized as, we're following the rule of law, where the blue states are being rogue and basically being like, oh, these people need food. if you take all the blue states, that's probably half or more of the food stamp recipients, but they're saying it's mostly red states. So I don't know, and I don't care. What I care for is the future, and right now, the future is bright. So with that said, everyone, food stamps have been restored. We just have to wait and then go from there. So, yeah. And that's all I want to say to you guys tonight. And there's no new updates. If there is something that comes on the pipe, I may update you on it. But think about it. Food stamps is literally been restored right now. SCOTUS is going to either A, take it, or B, not take it. And if the Supreme Court's going to be taking everything for Trump, then there's a problem, because everyone hates the Supreme Court, apparently. They don't think the Supreme Court's doing their job for the American people. They're doing it for Project 2025. And a lot of people are like, if we can get back the House and Senate, the Dems, I mean, not me, then we're going to impeach them all. And they're basically going to see an impeachment fest, not just on Supreme Court justices, but in the president's cabinet. I mean, they're talking the president's cabinet is all going to be impeached and in behind bars. Well, that's fine. So if you impeach his entire cabinet, you impeach the vice president. I mean, literally, let's put it this way. How many Americans out there watching this video think that even if they do an impeachment fest like Little Johnson says, I like nicknaming him Little Johnson, Speaker of the House Little Johnson, then do you think Little Johnson's going to be telling the truth about impeachment fest? Yeah. Unfortunately, the thing is, they may impeach everyone around Trump except Trump. Unfortunately, they're already saying we're replacing Little Johnson. Let me put it this way. The American people would be better suited. They say, well, we're better suited to get rid of Little Johnson. Okay, well, let's just say for the sake of the argument, the House and Senate is Democratic. A lot of Americans are going to basically sit there and say, we will not take Jeffries as Speaker. The American people are saying he doesn't have a backbone. That's the thing, he doesn't. A lot of people would rather have AOC or Jasmine Crockett as Speaker, or even Jamie Raskin, than Hakeem. Hakeem would not make a great Speaker. And Chuck Schumer should not be the minority leader or majority leader because of his age and the fact that he has no stinking spine. Literally, if he's going to be for the people, then he should turn around and be like, okay, I want 10 years assistance on the, at least he's new. Instead he offers 1 year and they're like, nope, not going to do it. So then move it up to 2 years. And if he says, nope, not going to do it, find a sweet spot where everyone says 4 years, 5 years. I mean, literally, if he just sits there and says, nope, not going to do it, then who's the one that's going to be the problem? I think there's a lot of... I mean, I could hear waxing or washing around like water, but still, it's like... I mean, I'd love just to have it all bubble out, or blow in it. But, every time they do that, the air ball doesn't work. So, I haven't been born with hearing problems all my life. So, I could run a Q-tip real quick and try it. But, point is, the American people are tired of pain. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing in there. I mean, literally. I mean, I mean, literally, there is nothing in here. Yeah, so, anyways, I mean, all you got is cotton swabs that aren't even working properly. Yeah, so there's nothing in there. I mean, literally, so I don't know what's wrong with my ear, but anywho, the American people are tired of paying, and all these people are now hooting and hollering they got their food stamps. Good for you. Buy your groceries and then be prepared for next month, because we're not out of the woods yet. I mean, literally, every month the government stays shut down is another month that delays everything. It could delay everything. Think about it. Social Security people are trying to wait for approvals. Those are on hold, I heard. The Appeals Council on hold. The federal courts are on hold. These people aren't getting paid. The federal courts apparently aren't mandatory in some Social Security. You know, all these people are sitting there hooting and hollering about their benefits, but what's the point? What are they getting out of it? Think about it. Oh yeah, something fell. What was it? My TV remote or something? Yeah, the Bible fell. There we go, people. So anywho, I just wanted to say thanks for tuning in today. So food stamps have been restored, but the Supreme Court's gonna basically either take it up or not. And if they do, I will post an update video. If they don't, I will post a video about that too. They may take it up, but the thing is, they shouldn't be taking up a lower court's thingy. But then again, a lot of people are saying you can't tap money you don't have. What's next? They're going to gut the farmers funding, what's available, or the housing funding, so they can you know, pay for people's benefits. I mean, think about it. How many people out there are going to see them basically robbing Paul to pay Peter, robbing Peter to pay Paul? I mean, the government is going to literally look at it and be like, we can't afford it, we can't sustain it, we can't sustain anything. So basically, that's the thing. We can't sustain these people. A lot of people sit there and say we can't sustain anyone. I mean, literally. I mean, what happens when the Democrats, for example, turn around one morning and basically sit there and they say 77% of government benefits will be paid? 77. You know, in 2034. And yet everyone's panicking. That's 6 years. That's what is it, 2021? That's 9 years from now, right? 9 years. What, 8.5 years? What happens then, huh? People sit there and say, oh, Rita, there's only 77%. Then people are going to be making videos about it. Thing is, they keep kicking the can. It's like, look, apparently all these people say the Democrats have a mandate right now. Use the mandate and the powers that we've given you. Just say no and increase health care. Okay. But then again, you got to ask yourself, how many Americans out there, besides blue Americans, that's what I call it, there's blue and red Americans, that want health care? How many people want food stamps? How many people want phone service? How many people want free internet? How many people want other issues? I mean, look, as a prepper, you got to ask yourself, yeah, you got to ask yourself, how much are you willing to take? How many times? I mean, one guy says Trump becomes trillionaire. He doesn't become a trillionaire. He's got to meet basic requirements. I mean, look at the clickbait. People are like, oh, you need to stop. I mean, literally. I mean, the economy is hurting to the point where people are not buying Teslas. If Tesla keeps having their sales drop, he could sit there and say, oh, well, everyone wants a Tesla in Europe. And then Europe can turn around and say, no, we're not supporting the apparently first trillionaire. And they can boycott him. Next, no, his company's down the toilet. I mean, or Tesla's down the toilet. I mean, think about it. I mean, he's not going to be the first trillionaire in 10 years. In the next 10 years, he may basically be the first broke billionaire if the American people and others around the world don't buy his crap. I mean, literally, I mean, look at what we talked about last night with the economy. No one's buying anything right now because the government shut down. I mean, literally. I mean, do you want, I mean, think about it. People sit there and say, can you give us an example, Rita? Yeah, okay, I'll give you 3 examples, okay? So if you go to Amazon, and you go into the Amazon thing right here, right? It says right there, for example, buying candy, for example. Candy goes down $1 for 5 pounds down because they're hurting, right? So what if I turned around and went to my browsing history? I always price out things, right? And then I go here and I say, okay, my mac and cheese is down 20 cents. And then I go and I scan this stuff, right? And I say, okay, now look at this. So Amazon had a deal for a new laptop, right? It was like $499.99, right? Anyways, it went up to $799.99. So now they're like almost out, so they raised the price for supply and demand. Then, for example, you go down here, and Chloe's like, well, I want one of these, right? So you're like, okay, you want one of those, right? So anyways, you go down here, and what do you see? You see the government turning around, and the government turning around, right? And they're like, well, you need this and you need that. Right. So technically what you need to recalibrate is what you're going to spend money on, right? So like I have multiple tabs open. I'm running a Ryzen 9. So, in the laptop field, my brother Ted would be like, Ryzen 9! Yeah, Ryzen 9, all right. Anyways, let's just open this up. So, third-party support, not Amazon. Dropped this by $200. Trying to. It's probably a scammer thing too. But if you look at their sales thing, right, and you go over here, it says sales. You got to look here. Then you got to click on filter, and then you filter new, and then it'll tell you, like right here, the cheapest one, 93% for a third party. I would buy that for that, right? Fortunately, the lower you go, right, the cheaper it is, right? So let's just say my brother's like, no, you got to do buy and ship by Amazon only, right? So I'm already seeing the pricing, right? Shipped and sold by Amazon is so much money. It's because no one, that one's 88%. That company's pretty good too. But point is, you look at shipped and sold by Amazon, there is none. Because shipped and sold by Amazon, they're all sold out. It's a third-party service. So, for example, you want to pay more money, you got to go and look for, shipped and sold by Amazon. Yeah. A lot of people say, well, when do you find shipped and sold by Amazon? When you find one that Amazon is selling. Otherwise, shipped and sold by Amazon on the bottom is $9.99. So basically, Amazon may be offering it for more money, but as my adopted brother would say, that's where you'd go. Third party, So, like, for example, this one here is a company that, it's expensive. So, again, you look at the filter of new, and again, you look at these, and it's like this one here, 71%, 67, so there's only 4 of them. Nothing shipped and sold by Amazon. So, and then you keep going down the list, you can actually see this one says shipper, seller, Amazon, and you look at it. And the reason why it's cheaper is because the video card that Chloe likes is not the one that she wants. And then you go to this one, and it's more money. It's a Ryzen 7. Then you go to this, and you're talking about powdered milk, shipped and sold by Amazon. Nope, it just says shipped to Amazon, and you may get it by Monday if you're lucky. The other milk, again, Tuesday. Actually, no, it says you will get this milk by November 26th. Sorry, dude, I'm not paying for something that's November 26th. Sorry. So there you go. So everything you look at, you got to look at shipped and sold or etc. Fortunately, this is just an example, okay? So you've just seen the example of food and so forth and so on. So you have to ask yourself, how much are you willing to spend for these items? I mean, look at this. Like the TV that someone asked me the other day went up $40 because, well, TV sales are done. They had this like early Black Friday. People are like, oh, well, aren't you going to buy? Nope. And then a lot of people say, well, what are you going to do? Nothing. I mean, literally, you got to ask yourself, how much are you willing to spend? And are you willing to dip into your own funds to cover what may or may not be needed? Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. There's the candy. I want some candy. I haven't noticed. Yeah. Yeah. So, I like gummy worms. Yes, gummy worms. Anyways. So, for example, you want me to give you another example? Check Walmart, right? Walmart pricing is always up and down. I got food pricing in there. I got groceries. I got items in my wish list. I mean, I was just looking the other day thinking milk's 50 cents. Nope, milk isn't 50 cents. So, for example, the meat that Chloe wanted for Thanksgiving just went up $5 a pound more. So, think about it. That tells you right there. You leave it in your shopping cart and you plan carefully, it'll tell you exactly what's going on. Yeah. So, for example, I went into my list and I downsized a bit. So, for example, someone asked me about this. Here we go. This is $700 for what Chloe wants right here. That went up in price. 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 So basically, you just put it in your wish list and follow it for holidays shopping, and that'll tell you exactly what you need to know that things are going up in price. People got their food stamps, so the food's going up again. If no one was buying the food stamps, foods would go down in price. Fortunately, a lot of people are watching, tariffs and more tariffs. And a lot of people say if Trump's tariffs get shut down, hey, the American people are going to suffer, which they may not, because they'll be happy they don't have to pay higher pricing and everything. Apparently, a lot of these Republicans are like saying, they'll pay the tariffs. And then a lot of other people say, well, the tariff's a tax, like the Supreme Court. And then, you have other things. But all these people are basically thinking, they're not going to buy. And the reason they're not buying is because the pricing. I mean, think about it. Pricing, I just gave you an example. Price went up in Walmart. Price went up in Amazon, except for food. Food went down in price because they want to cash in on your food stamps. That's the thing. If they can't cash in on their food stamps, they don't want it. I mean, literally, it's the way it is. I mean, yeah. It's like I was talking to a friend of mine about TVs, right? They were asking me about the TV. Is it on sale? I'm like, no, it went off sale because they're done. Fortunately, you think I want to spend money for a new TV? I mean, literally. I mean, people say, well, you need one for your office. I need one for the office, correct. But I'm not going to go and spend money without, really needing it. I mean, literally. I mean, I only use the computer for videos and for pricing things out. I mean, otherwise, we don't have anything. And a lot of people are saying, well, what about Christmas? Christmas is going to go down the toilet. Yeah, if you basically didn't prep properly. That's the thing. How many times have I told you guys to prep properly? But you guys don't listen. What you guys listen to is, well, we're only thinking about ourselves. And then when you guys don't prep, you're screwed. Literally. And then you say, oh, Christmas is going to suck because I didn't prep. That's why you basically hold back every month a little bit and buy what you need. Chloe's already working on 2026. And 2026 ain't even here yet. What's that tell you, people? 2026 is not even here yet. So technically, what do we got here? We got a Paxanda. I made it. Yes, welcome Paxanda to our channel. I mean, 2026 isn't even here yet. And yet Chloe's already pre-planning 2026 Christmas to be great. I also got to get off my butt eventually and work on spreadsheets. But guess what? I can do that later. Fortunately, Chloe's got all these ideas for Christmas, and I think it's great, but people can't afford Christmas. And they can't afford Christmas because people aren't planning for it properly. And then some people say, oh, well, these people are so poor they can't plan it. I mean, look, yeah, if you want to do it that way, yeah. So, technically, yeah, so my adopted brother keeps saying giddy up. Well, I'd like to tell him to shut up because no one wants to listen to him anyways, okay? So, but my point is when it comes to pricing, you got to ask yourself, are you willing to price? And are you willing to realize that sometimes people need to buy and prep? I mean, literally, how many people out there are buying and prepping? None. Right now, most people aren't prepping. They're basically sitting there and they're like, oh yeah, I got my food stamps, yeah. And then they go to the store and they come back an hour later and their groceries are done. And they're like, oh yeah, I got my... I went on Amazon, looked at 15 cases of ramen, ordered it, and because, okay, 15 cases, people are going to sit there and say, what's next month? Another 15? Well, if I run out of space, that's my problem, not yours. Your problem is you guys got to realize that the American people need to realize that people got to eat. And the way they got to eat is the way they got to eat. Unfortunately, most people, they got to eat. Fortunately, tonight, Chloe already said she's thinking about spending some excess money to go buy a hot dog. Yeah, when she gets done with her thing. Dinner's at 5. She's going to go to Costco. She's like, oh, I'll check Costco pricing while I'm there for rib roast. Wow, so you're going to check on ham, turkeys, and rib roast. That's amazing because, the thing is I told you guys to keep prepping for Thanksgiving and prepping for Christmas. Unfortunately, Christmas dinner is easy to prep. I mean, you just look around and you buy what you need, whereas a lot of Americans, they don't even think about it, They're just like holding on. And me, I'm holding on until I can figure out what we want to do. I wouldn't mind a duck for Thanksgiving, but you know how Chloe is. Oh, little ducky. I'm out here in South Carolina, and mailbox farm stands are popping up everywhere. It's popping up where it's take something, leave something, or an extra dinner plate for sale. Mailbox farm stand. That's amazing out there. That's amazing to hear because, frankly, with me, of course, like I said, Paxanda, my best friend, right? I have to maintain the budget, the ledger for her, and she's autistic. And anyway, she goes to the other day. She goes out, and she's talking about how her finances are low, and she's like, I don't know why my finances are low, right? Well, as a prepper, I can tell you why your finances are low. You invested in what was it she is in? Oh yeah, lunch for like $16, right? $16. I could have got 3 cases of ramen for $16. But no, apparently lunch is more important, right? So what you got to do, everyone, and for the story of Paxana, is you got to ask yourself if you're a prepper or if you're someone who's on food stamps or if you're someone who's hoarding cash, do you really need it? Literally. I keep telling Chloe this. Chloe's like, well, yeah. Well, think about it. Do you really need it? I mean, look at the other day. I got to tell you a story, but I have to run to the restroom. This is live. I'm unscripted, by the way. The coffee, I got to get another cup of coffee. But I know moderators always around. She tell us about stories, too. More like stories. Alright, so I got my coffee cup ready to fill. I just want to tell you a story. So, I was at the Walmart the other day, people. Not the Walmart the other day, pushing a shopping cart. Anyways, I gotta get my coffee refilled. And I was throwing in stuff that I was gonna eat, right? And I have coolers upon coolers upon coolers, right? Yeah, we rent a minivan, and so we fill up this thing, right? So all my coolers were in the 50 quart, 60 quart, bigger quart, right? And my driver, who's got her little coolers for the month, looks at me and says, "Oh my God, you're doing a shopping run." Everything went into the shopping thing, right? Well, anyways, a neighbor of mine said, "Oh, how can you have a full freezer? How can you have a full freezer and all this ramen and stuff?" And not go hungry, right? They're like, well, I don't understand how you have all this. Simple. I'm a prepper. Prepping is what I do. I can live on ramen. I can live on beans. I can live on whatever. Tonight's meal is Salisbury steak. I love me some ramen noodles. I grow parsley so far to put in it. Yeah, so anyways, ramen is on sale right now. There's creamy chicken, Mary Yu Chan for $5.76. There's the spicy beef and spicy chicken Mary Yu Chan ramen cups. They're at $5.76 for 12. I bought 10 cases of the spices, beef and chicken, and 5 cases of the Mary Yu Chan creamy chicken. And now a lot of people are like, that's great. And the other thing is if you go to Top Ramen, right? Top Ramen's, last time I checked, Top Ramen currently, Nissan Top Ramen beef is 24 pack is $6.48. Top Ramen chicken is $6.48 for 24. So I would highly recommend getting your Top Ramen as soon as possible because everything else is going up. Oh, they have Top Ramen. Yeah, those two are the best. So, for example, if you like your beef or your chicken, it's $6.48 for 24. I highly recommend that for you people that like your ramen because of it. $6.48 per 24 pack. Now I got 5 24 packs of creamy chicken Mary Chan. That's my favorite. But the problem with Mary Chan is it's hard to get a hold of due to the fact that the price fluctuates. One day it's $5.48. The next day it's $9.11. The next day it's like $18.27. I mean, it just fluctuates. So it's like you don't understand why your favorite flavors go up. People suck them up, and then when they do, the price goes up. It's like supply and demand. Yeah, so I guess, anyways, I guess I can hang out for a little longer due to the fact that, dinner is ready in 15, then I gotta pull it out and let it cool, so, nice, true, yeah, so basically, like I said, the ramen, I'll leave it in the comments here if you guys want to see the ramen prices, because, in the comments, if you guys want to cash in on it, I highly recommend it on Amazon before the price goes up, because price will be going up soon, and you don't want to be and you can choose right there in your flavor thing here. It's like right here, it says which ones are which. You can buy chicken and beef. Is shrimp the same price, or is it more? Shrimp's like double the price. So chicken and beef right here you can get for a whopping, here we go. Apparently I can't post it because it's too much. It's like 300 characters. Amazon's always doing this. Sweet cooking pizza here. Pizza sounds good. I'm cooking Salisbury steak. So, but anyways, my point is if you look at the food, for example, you can you can buy what you need and it'll be really cheap. So to me, you have to ask yourself, what are you going to buy? And I would be like, yeah, I'm ready to buy. And there he goes. The email just came in about the food stamps again. So, the Department of Justice has asked the justices of the Supreme Court to stop an order by 9:35, which is approximately 1 hour and 27 minutes from now, as USDA was in the middle of completing its process for making full payments under a court order to finish Friday for food stamps. So, apparently, so it says here, this is from a website that I get emails from a website that's legit, and let's go over this. Hold on. Application to stay the order issued by the United States District Court for the District of Rhode Island, a request for immediate administrative stay by 9:30 p.m. So on the evening of the Justice Department went to the U.S. Supreme Court to try and stop a district or court order requiring Trump administration to pay out. See, this is what I told you last night that was going to happen. Although the U.S. Department of Agricultural officials stated on Friday that it's working towards complying with the district court order for the full month, USDA would complete its process necessary to do so later today. The Justice Department continued effort to get a stay, suggests USDA would still stop completing their process if it gets a stay. So basically, what I think is going to happen is, hold on a sec. There we go. So the United States government's going to get a stay, possibly, if the SCOTUS gives it. And then the SCOTUS gives the stay, hypothetically. And then they're going to push a button that's going to block everyone who has food stamps on the card. Which means whatever's on your card, you may not get till next month, or they'll just retract it. So be very careful. The Supreme Court Solicitor General John Sauer told the justices, given the imminent irreparable harms posed by these orders, which require the government to transfer an estimate $4 billion by tonight. Solicitor General respectively requests an immediate administrative stay by 9:30. Okay. All this is more than 40 million people is entitled. They're not entitled to it. They're entitled only by the rules, but if there's no money to pay for it, the entitlement goes down the toilet. Okay, but I'm not here to basically be a bigot. I'm just talking about what the law states. Entitled to SNAP would see their state, the Trump administration, and now the Supreme Court will do about their food benefits. So they're just trying to basically get the Supreme Court on board so people can be pissed off. And if the Supreme Court did vote it in, then I have a feeling by 2026, when the people get their food stamps pulled back, as soon as they say, okay, we're giving you the stay, the government can flip a switch and take all that money back. Then the government could turn around and basically see the people vote the blue wave in 2026, and then they'll start impeaching the Supreme Court for not doing their rights, and then the president may have to basically put in 6 more justices, and it'll be messy, and they may stop the Supreme Court maybe on hold until 2029, when they basically plant entire liberal justice system 9. So think about it. This is going to get messy. Possibly. It's only a theory. On Thursday, the U.S. District Judge John McConnell entered the order enforcing his prior temporary restraining order in a case brought to Rhode Island. The effort to stop SNAP benefits this month, as well granting the plaintiffs, led by Rhode Island State Council of Churches, a new temporary restraining order. The Trump administration has been planning on issuing partial payments between 50 and 65% under McConnell's initial TRO, temporary restraining order, under the SNAP benefits contingency fund money available. But the plaintiffs objected to USDA's decision not to still process full benefits. Connell found the reason the U.S. Department of Agriculture gave for not using another batch of money. The USDA's Section 32 fund to make up the difference likely violated the Administrative Procedures Act of being arbitrary and capricious. Such McConnell ordered full SNAP benefits be made by both enforcing the initial TRO and by issuing a new direct TRO, temporary restraining order. It was a belt and suspenders approach, as McConnell wrote in the new TRO that the Trump administration was being ordered to make full payment of November SNAP benefits to the states by Friday, November 7th, by utilizing available Section 32 funds by combination with the contingency funds. The Justice Department appealed to the U.S. Courts of Appeal First Circuit's seeking administrative stay and staying a pending appeal. Its request docketed a little before 9 a.m. Friday. It's out of action by 4. The plaintiffs filed their opposition a little past noon. When it hadn't got a ruling by its arbitrary 7-hour deadline for a ruling, it went to the Supreme Court and asked the justice for immediately an administrative stay by 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Sauer DOJ had done the First Circuit blamed the whole thing on Congress. Congress has failed to appropriate the funds. Yeah, okay. Alright. So apparently my internet went down for some reason for a second, people. Anyway, sorry about the freezer part. Apparently my internet went down for a minute, people. So please bear with me. It went down for a minute, crows, because we're having some problems. Can I just finish this? So it says Congress has failed to appropriate funds to pay for supplemental nutrition. Okay. Sauer considered there were only enough cover, solved through congressional action. Shortly after Supreme Court request was filed, First Circuit denied DOJ's request for an administrative stay. Appeals Court has not, however, yet ruled the stay request or covered this. Okay, so the DOJ informed the Supreme Court of that order shortly thereafter. So we're waiting for that. Yeah, so anyways, my adopted brother keeps talking about things that he doesn't classify. So, anyways, yeah, so I'm sorry for it freezing, alright? So basically, here's the deal. They went to Supreme Court, said, hey, we need to put a stay on this. There's no money. Apparently, there's 12 appropriation bills. If we basically appropriated more money for social programs, that's what the Democrats want in 2026. Unless in war, we would do better. But you know, the president would be like, no, we need war. We need to pay for war. Yeah, I mean, I can't do them that well, but thing is, you know, there's all this clickbaiter crap going on too. So, but the American people are the American people are tired, you know, of all the crap going on. And, yeah. Yeah, so anyways. So, the American people are tired. They are tired and they're wore out. And, they're tired of, yeah, so I apologize again. They're tired because the American people are tired. They're tired of the American people. Yeah, they're tired of the American people doing things that the American people, you know, they're like, oh, we need to go to the Supreme Court and get the ruling. Well, the Supreme Court says, no, we're not taking it. Pay the dang SNAP benefits. Then what? I mean, literally, how's this going to play out? A lot of people say, oh, it's going to play out where the SCOTUS is going to win. Yeah, until SCOTUS basically finds out they're on the impeachment line in 2027. When they turn around and say, first line of business, impeach 6 justices. Donald Trump will be like, oh, well, you know, I'll just put in 6 more. Fortunately, they can sit there and say, no, we're going to run a skeleton of 3 Supreme Court justices, which they can't, which means the Supreme Court gets stuck for 2 years in limbo because the Democrats want to harm the country. I mean, literally, maybe they should just pass and say, okay, current administration is in 2029, the 9 justices go away. Or, you know, whatever. I mean, they can make rules and change it right away to make it so it's like every 4 years we get justices and we get to vote for them. Most Americans don't realize we should basically have, like, you know, the American people should turn around and be allowed, in my opinion, it may cost a lot of money, but it'd be allowed to vote for who we want in cabinet. I mean, that would be a better idea. I mean, look, the blue Americans, they want socialism. The blue Americans want socialism. They want free health care. Or subsidized health care. They want subsidized housing. I want subsidized housing, but that's because I live in subsidized. They want subsidized food stamps. They want voting undecided anyways. Yeah, well, point is, when it comes to voting, people should be voting for what they want. They shouldn't just sit there. I mean, look, most of the people that I talk to are Republicans. They don't want to be paying more money for Joe Blow to have chemo because Joe Blow smoked 90,000 Camel cigarettes. By the way, you got the blue states being like, oh, we need to ban cigarettes. You got the red states saying, you ban cigarettes, you ban our income. Then you got the blue states saying, we need to ban alcohol. Okay. Then you got the red state saying banning alcohol is going to cut away our income. Then you got the red state saying, you know, we need to ban certain rules and drug usage, like, you know, ban drug users. And then the blue state says you can't ban it because it's an addiction. I mean, it's a back and forth. Cigarettes, addiction. Tobacco, addiction. Coffee, addiction. Caffeine. Other things, an addiction. Everything's an addiction. So think about it from that point of view, people. I mean, the American people are turning around. Sorry about the internet being cut out, by the way. But the American people turned around, and, you know, I will put in the, you know, the point is, the American people, they're tired. They're tired of paying for handouts. They're literally tired of paying handouts, and they're tired of paying for things coming down the pipe. I mean, let's talk about Chloe for a second again, okay? Chloe turns around, she says, I bought lunch, $16. The day she spent $16 on lunch, I didn't pay anything. Yeah. I call the body a meat suit. Yes, well, that's cool that you call the body a meat suit. My father-in-law once said that the body, when you die, you're expired meat. That's what he said to me about my beloved. So, anyways, the point I'm trying to make, people, is there. Oh, there it goes. So I gotta grab the ibuprofen, and then I gotta pull my dinner out and let it cool about 20 minutes, which means, 20 minutes, and then I get to eat. Yeah. There we go. So, hold on a sec, peeps. I gotta get my oven mitts on and I gotta pull my food out. I look forward to eating. There we go. Expired meat suit. See, got my oven mitts on. I'm ready to pull out my food and let it cool 20 minutes. Okay, just pulled out the pizza. So basically, the American people turned around, and what they have done is they're literally sitting there wondering if the Supreme Court's really going to rule for the American people or going to rule for the administration. I mean, this is the weirdest administration ever so far, but it's an interesting administration. Oh yeah, there we go. A little dinner. Oh yeah. Apparently these are, oh yeah, hold on a sec. Alright, peeps. So apparently these meals are cheaper than Hungry Man. I found that out today, by the way. Cheaper than Hungry Man. Can you believe that? What do we got here? We got, yeah, so cheaper than Hungry Man. So basically, but you know, I could always price out. These are like $2.96 I'm paying in Hungry Man. I don't even know, yeah. So, yeah. See, there he goes. Another guy posts 2 hours ago, clickbait, 20,000 views, where he says what Donald Trump's doing for his war crimes. Yeah, if you want to basically read that stuff. I don't even know. So let's just check Walmart. Walmart. And then go Hungry Man. Because, you know, I'm curious about the Hungry Man. Chloe's like, oh, do you want to do a Hungry Man? I could do a Hungry Man. I could do 2 of them, actually. Alright, so let's just do in-store because they're like, that's the only way you can get a Hungry Man. You know, so you got boneless fried chicken. $3.74. Think about that. $3.74 for the turkey one. What am I trying? The turkey one. Let me see here. Home-style meatloaf and beer batter chicken. Yeah, I had some meatloaf the other day. Didn't taste good. Classic fried chicken and Mexican-style fiesta. Let me just tell you a secret about these Mexican, you know, the thing. Oh, yeah, I wanted to, so basically, has anyone ever checked out that Banquet fried chicken thing? So basically, you know, Banquet Mega fillets are pretty good. And, yeah, so you got Banquet chickens. And a lot of people say, well, you know, it's kind of expensive. But the thing is, you look at it, like, for example, I got the Banquet Mega Bowls I'm eating too. Let me just say I had the, see, what I was looking for is the fillets. There you go. So you got chicken fillets, mega fillets. I'd even eat a chicken sandwich for Thanksgiving. That's how humble I am. Actually, I may just put those in the shopping cart right now so I have it on hand. Okay. Then it says right there, original fried chicken. Banquet crispy fried chicken. See, it's like, what, 42-ounce meal? Yeah, see, think about that. So they're charging $14. Let me look at that. So what do you get here? How many pieces of chicken do you get? Let's see, full box. Okay, a full box is, they don't even tell you what it is. It's like 400 in the oven. Right there, it's like original crispy assorted pieces. Thighs and chicken drumstick pieces. So you get thighs and drumstick pieces. And they're like, yeah, I'll add that to the cart too just because, but still. I'd rather invest in the chicken patties, you know. But the thing is Chloe's like, oh. I mean, literally, I mean, the thing is, I would love to try their you know, get some, oh yeah, you know what, let's just put in some hamburger buns too. Because usually you can get a decent deal on hamburger buns. Hamburger buns! Mm-hmm. So, you know, then what you do is you just bring in some fried, here we go. 8 buns? Do we even have, there's 8 buns. What about 12 buns? Let's just say, oh yeah, 12 buns maybe? 8 Tailgater Gourmet White Extra Large buns. Yeah, if you want extra large buns. I just wanted 12 buns, but the extra large buns I could see myself doing. So let's just do extra large buns. See, I'm actually shopping for food right now. See, a lot of people say, Rita, you never do anything on prepping about food. Yeah, I am. I'm looking for buns. See, I'm thinking putting together a couple chicken sandwich meals this month. Chloe goes to the shopping for me. See, what I do is one of my prepping tools is I go to Chloe and I say, hey, and she's like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, and she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, and she's like, what? Oh, butter buns? I'll take some butter buns too. Butter burger buns. So then I turn around, and I say to Chloe, I need some buns. And Chloe's like, you need some buns. I'm like, I need some buns. And then Chloe's like, you need some buns. I'm like, I need some buns. So you got it right there, 8 and 8, right? Let's just remove this, save some money. And then what you do is you look at these, and it says 6 count, that's 12. So there's 16. So what you do is there's 18 and 8 and 8 is 16. 16, 16 is 32. So you just get enough buns, and so you do, yeah. So let's see. So it's like what? 6 and 12. 12 is 24. So you need, so what you do is you do, 3. 3 of these. There you go, see? And then you can actually save that for later, right? And then you save this for later, because Chloe's demanding that. And then you look at the bill and it's $26. And, so now they're like, your order is under 30. Select delivery of pickup. I want pickup. I mean, literally, pick up. You can't pick up. Select, fine. We want pickup, right? So we want 12 Wednesday. Chloe's like Wednesday, I think, right? Wednesday, okay. Wednesday at like 8 a.m., right? We're just gonna choose a date, right? Yeah, okay. So let's just see, right? So right there, pickup blue is $6.99. So they're like, you need to spend more money. So what you do is then you turn around and you say, okay, I want 2 bags of this, and you want that's what is it, 12.24. So you got 12.24, and yeah, so basically you just do it that way. So there you have it. So for pickup, they're like, oh, free pickup. So now your pickup is 35. Yeah, so a wish sandwich for Thanksgiving. Yeah. So there goes my adopted brother being a smarty pants again because of the Blue Brother things. He's like, let's see. Dollar General has pizza that is cheese sauce instead of tomato, cheesy bacon yum. Receipt $6.77. Tombstone. Yeah. I know the pizza you're talking about. I just pulled out the pizza. I wasn't talking about pizza. I was talking about sandwiches. I was talking about spicy, whatever it was. I lived in my Jeep 2 years. One of the things I longed for was because of those $6.75 pizzas a lot. Yeah, well, I went to Costco once, right? And I asked for their pizza, and it's like an 18-inch pizza. The thing fed me for like 3 days. I couldn't believe how much I microwaved, or not microwaved, oven baked it. It was pretty tasty in my opinion. So, but yeah, I have a family member who owned a Jeep. He sold it recently. I think he bought himself a smoker with his Jeep. I was like, dude, you sold your Jeep, your classic Jeep, and bought a smoker. Oh, look who woke up, everyone. Say hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Moppy. My bone bowl is filled again. I got gravy bones. How is everyone doing tonight? Mom, I smell that Salisbury steak. I want some. How you doing tonight? Hi. So, yeah. Yeah. Doot-de-doot-de-doot. Oh no, I wasn't talking about Mexican pizza. I was talking about the Mexican mega meals by Banquet. Or Hungry Man. I was talking about the Mexican Hungry Man doesn't feed you, was what I said. Yeah. That's what I said. Yeah. So, yeah. So this is Moppy. He's a service dog for some of you out there. Hi, bud. What's up, huh? Finally got up? There you go, bud. Oh, so you want a head rubbed, huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Everyone loves the dog. Everyone loves him. He's a service dog. He's been with me for 9 years. He was Daddy Aaron's service dog, but Daddy Aaron passed away, so they retrained him for me. Hi! How are you nappy, huh? You okay, bud? Yeah, I know what you want. You got your food right there, bud. Do you have water? Did I fill your water bowl up again, huh? Yeah? So we were talking about the mega meals, banquet mega meals, and the banquet, the Hungry Man's. The Mexican ones aren't that bad, are not that good because you don't get enough food. Yeah. All right, let's check your water bowl real quick. I pull my pants up. You pulled my pants in. Ah, yes, your water bowl is empty. Let's refill her, bud. Thank God the sink's empty. There you go, bud. Bud. Oh yeah, see how it is. You're just like, I'm on the bed. I don't care yet. So, basically, the Hungry Man thing is pretty interesting, but the Mexican food's not that filling. You can get a better deal on El Monterey. What was the El Monterey thing, son? Chimichangas and burritos. I love the chimichangas and burritos. I keep telling Chloe to pick me up something. She's like, we're limited on space. Yeah, because she just wants to claim we're limited on space. Yeah, so that's what I want to say. She claims we're limited on space. So, anyways, I got about 10 minutes left. Then my dinner's ready. And then I got some relaxing time. I know my brother's like, no gaming. Yes, I'm gaming tonight. That's the thing. A lot of you people out there, I've been doing these videos because everyone wants to know. Oh, by the way, we got... 8 minutes, 52 minutes left before the Supreme Court rules yay or nay. Let's check. So apparently the president is still waiting for his ruling. So they haven't ruled yet. So apparently they're behind closed doors. I'd personally be pissed off myself if I was a SCOTUS member. I'd be like, dude, I want to go home, but it's 5:30 at night, or 8:30 a.m. I mean, literally, I'd be like, dude, I want to go home, but I can't because these people are telling me I had to stay for whatever, Yeah, so. Yep, so anyways, like I said, everything comes for a reason, so. Yeah, so Chloe was asking me about potato chips, and I was like, yes. And she's like, is there any available? And I was like, no. And she's like, not? And I was like, no. You see, Chloe's always asked me about those wavy chips. Fortunately, you can't get wavy chips because wavy chips is, a lot of money. And so hold on. I wasn't trying to do that. Okay, so, because Chloe's like, is there wavy chips? Negative. Wavy is out. They got regular chips. But, Chloe likes wavy chips, and it's like, yeah, if you want wavy chips, you're paying more money. But thing is, this is why, yeah, there it is, the wavy chips all the way at the bottom. Says you can get it by Monday. Really, Monday? Yeah, that's nice. I want wavy chips, but they're more money. You see, anytime you got to pay more for wavy. So, anyways, yeah. So I got this, thing I want to do tonight, gaming, and I got 20 cats. Don't judge me. 20 cats. Well, I don't judge people. That's the thing. I know people that judge me, like the other day, this lady turned around, she attacked me, a neighbor. And I'm like, dude, you don't judge me, because what did I do? Nothing, right? They're just angry. They're always angry. They're bitter, and, so the neighbor basically attacked me, right? And I'm thinking to myself, you're judging me, yet you don't like people judging you, but at the same time, the Bible says, thou shalt not judge, or ye be judge yourself. Yeah, so there you have it, And so to me, I'm like, what the heck, right? So you can't please people. There's too many bigots in the world. What do we got here? We got, yes, but wave have the bestest flavor. Yes, the wavy does. Unfortunately, the wavy's more money, and if you can get a hold of wavy, you're doing good. Amazon's got a good wavy chip, actually, but it depends on how much you want to pay, too. I mean, literally, Chloe's like, oh, well, we should, what does Chloe say? We should get some. Fortunately, we should get some, but, the problem with Chloe is Chloe's on her own, Chloe's always on her own, yeah. So apparently Amazon keeps emailing Chloe things like, oh, look for scams. Really? Pfft. Yeah. Well, anyways, Chloe's, I don't know. I think Chloe's doing something at 2 hours ago. Oh, yeah. She did a voice call, but, yeah. Yeah, so, yep. Yep, so apparently, yeah. So, anywho, it's all good. It's all good. Good. Hey, yeep. Yeah, so, yeah, I had a friend of mine pass away recently. Didn't even realize it until people messaged me. He was a great guy, too. I mean, I miss him, so, but anyways, I got a game I'm going to play tonight, and, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I mean, people say to me, you know, I may just, stay, but I may not. I mean, I do want to see what SCOTUS does. I mean, literally. I mean, we are literally waiting, you know, it's like, we are literally waiting for something, you know, and, you know, I could always eat my dinner, but, you know, I'm behind schedule. I've been watching this video guy that makes video game reviews, and, you know, the game came out, yet they're sold out, and then people say don't buy it. It's like, well, you know, the guy's reviewing it, you know, he's got like 13 hours in, and he's just like, oh, the game is, yeah, you basically, you know, but, you know, a lot of people say either it's a hit or miss, you know, and it depends on what you're buying, you know. Right up, yeah, Christmas is around the corner, so, yeah, so, you know, Chloe said to me the other day, oh, are you going to work on the new computer? I should get the, files put together so I can test it out, you know, and, see how it plays out, because Chloe wanted this laptop, you know, and I told her, yeah, we got this one here, you know. She's like, no, that's a gaming laptop. We can't keep lugging a gaming laptop with us. We need a actual work laptop. So she goes and gets a 16-inch laptop, and it tells me, I need you to test games out. Which games do you want me to test? Because it takes time to tweak them. It could take me 4 days to tweak them. Well, right now, PAX and I would. I mean, literally what I'm trying to say is right now it's 5:45, pretty much Pacific Standard Time. SCOTUS will rule, basically, you know. The thing is, I just want to eat, you know, and I thank you for coming on and subscribing and, you know, hit the bell notification. You know, I appreciate you. I do. I'm just waiting to see before my food, because once my food's done, I can eat while I talk to you guys, but, you know, the thing is a lot of people, like, you know, why would they want to watch me eat, you know, and the other people, they're just like, you know, but I'm willing to wait till the Supreme Court ruling, too, but thing is, I usually watch a video, you know, with that, so I'm just seeing if there's anything, you know. So apparently we're waiting for, and so basically we're waiting to see what happens with the Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court could basically turn around and not do anything. They could just sit on their butt, but a lot of people say, well, you know, we don't want our funding. Say the Republicans don't want to fund SNAP. They're literally turning around and saying, hey, why should we fund SNAP if we can't fund government work, right? So, for example, the military is now basically worried, and then, you know, the food banks are being over, you know, there's a lot of problems, is what I mean, you know, and a lot of people are like, yeah. Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people are like, waiting to see what happens. And, you know, a lot of people are waiting. And, you know, the thing is what happens. You know, we have 45 minutes left. And, you know, the thing is if the Supreme Court rules, you know, they're changing the ruling, you know. It's like he wants the Supreme Court to rule that food stamps have to be, you know, the food stamps have to be stopped, you know. And to me, a lot of people sit there and say, yeah, we need it because people shouldn't basically turn around and not be prepped. I mean, look, if I were you, which I'm not, and you guys got food stamps, I would literally basically order what needs to. So, Anyways, yes, Pax Anda, I will do an update. Maybe I'll eat my dinner and then come back. What do you think, guys? Do you think that would work? I think it would work. So, look for me after I eat my dinner. So, please add, subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestion. Hit the like, subscribe button. It's wholesome fun for your family, including your dogs, your cats, your bunnies, your service dogs, your service bunnies. The bell notification, thumbs up button, subscribe button. Keep the comments nice. All we ask. Thank you and God bless you and everything.